So let's shift over. Let's go to offensive tackles here. There's a good bit of names on this list. First round options. I have J.C. Latham out of Alabama. I'm gonna screw all these names up, so don't even wait for something good. Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. Marius Mims out of Georgia. Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, and then Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU. I just run right through it. And then here's some day two options we got here on the other side. Patrick Paul out of Houston, Brandon Coleman from TCU, Roger Rosengarten out of Washington, Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame, and Karen Amagaji. I'm going to say Amagaji for the rest of this time out of Yale. I'll go first on the offensive tackles for first round options. I went with Amarius Mims. He's got a grade grade of first round, 19th overall. I love his size. He's huge. The big flaw I've seen, the big concern is his lack of experience. He only has 8 career starts. He got into a bunch of other games, but I'm assuming that's like once Georgia takes the lead, he's just thrown in there to get some reps and all that stuff like that. But when he's been available, he's performed amazing. 0 sacks allowed in his 8 starts.
Wow.
And this second one, especially as a Steeler fan, wasn't flagged for holding or a false start in his entire college career.
Yeah.
So that's something to like. This name you're about to throw out there, I think he is the better talent. Go for it. What do you got for your offensive tackle?
Yeah, I went with J.C. Latham out of Alabama. I mean, when you think of a lot of college players, Alabama has definitely been arguably one of the best teams under Nick Saban. I mean, who's now retired, but he definitely recruited a lot of the I would say a lot of the top elite players for college, and he's graded in the first round at number 13 overall. I don't know if he would even be there.
Yeah.
For the Steelers at that time, but even if he's available, maybe the Steelers could draft up for him. I think it'd be a great pickup. He was a 2-year starter at Alabama. He was durable and didn't miss any games in the 3 years that he did play in Alabama, and played a total of 1,749 snaps. So I think that's a great career he had in college. And they also noted that he's definitely probably one of the strongest players in this draft class. So he definitely put on a performance at the combine. So if he's available, maybe the Steelers, I could see them drafting up for him. I think this would be a great pickup, for the team. It depends on how long he's going to even be there. He could go in the first 10 picks, so but I definitely think he is one of the elite, definitely first, college players in the draft that, maybe the Steelers could definitely look at picking up.
Yeah, if either of these two guys are available, I think looking at all the stuff we did, looking at the research I did for this podcast today, you got to take one of these guys, I think.
Yeah.
They're both solid players, more than solid players. I think they're both going to be starters in the league, and hopefully early on, if you're a Steeler fan, I guess with Dan Moore, you can still work with him and Broderick Jones for a little bit. So I guess immediate impact isn't 100% necessary, but I do think we as Steeler fans, we want an upgrade on that tackle spot.
I definitely agree with that.
So let's move on to mid-round options. I'm gonna let you go first on this one here. Go on and take it.
Yeah, I went on with Blake Fisher from Notre Dame. Again, Notre Dame's another one of those arguably great schools that that has a lot of great players. They have him graded in the 3rd round, number 73 overall. I think this could be a good 3rd round pick for the Steelers if he's available. He did miss, a lot of his freshman season, but he played, 26 games to finish his college career. So I think he definitely has some, longevity to be able to play, consecutive games. And they have him as definitely one of the bigger players in the draft. Has a lot of large arm length, and he's definitely, big and wide. He's light on the feet, and able to shuffle around with his movements. So I think if he's available in the 3rd round, if the Steelers weren't able to get any of those first round picks that we just talked about, I think this would be a great pickup in the 3rd round with one of those. I think you said we have 2 picks in the 3rd round. I think this would be a great pickup for one of the Steelers, to pick up in the 3rd round if he's available.
Yeah, I do like the idea of 26 straight starts to finish his career, and Notre Dame they play some Big Ten schools, they play some
Yeah,
Southern schools, so he's got the opportunity to probably face a lot of guys that will show him a lot of different looks, speed
mm,
guys, power guys throughout his career. So that is a name I think you look at in the mid rounds here, the day
yeah,
2 picks.
yeah,
I went with more of the project here. I went with Karen Amagaji out of Yale. He's currently got a grade of third round, 87th overall. And I mean, I wrote here, I would love to take him with either that 84th or that 98th pick,
yeah,
especially if you don't get a tackle beforehand. I think you got to do it. Um, he did miss the final 6 games of his career with an injury. And as I said, he is a project here. He didn't start playing football through until midway through his high school career, but I see that as a positive. And
yeah,
then he'll likely begin as a backup. But like I mentioned a second ago, this does give Dan Moore and Broderick Jones another year to prove themselves. So, I mean, that's how I look at there. I like the idea of a guy who maybe you're going to mold him some more. Even at he
yeah,
was at Yale. Obviously, he's got to be a smart guy if he went to Yale,
yeah,
right? And then,
yeah, exactly,
but it
exactly.
also he may not have he may have not gotten the same level of teaching that some of these big time schools have in the offensive line rooms. So there's something to play with there. There's some clay to mold, and I think that'd be an interesting guy to pick up there.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with you on that.
Uh-huh.